everyone, and welcome to this month's video. This is my 5th video in this series, and it is the 1st of May on the day I'm filming this. Now, obviously, with it being a bank holiday weekend, it is raining, or it has been raining, but actually that's probably quite a good thing, because we had a couple of weeks without any rain, and things, it wasn't necessarily the warmest of days, and I didn't realise how dry all the plants were getting, so it's actually good that they've had a bit of a soak in here, a bit of a sustained soaking as well, so that's good. We'll start by having a look at the Easter weekend when the weather was much better, and I got some jobs done. I filmed this on the Easter weekend. It's Bank Holiday Monday today, and it's been absolutely fantastic weather all weekend. I'm really lucky, and I've had a good tidy up. I just wanted to show you a couple of things that are looking quite nice now. It's got this crab apple tree. It blossoms beautifully every year. I don't think it lasts very long, a week or two. See, there's some flowers opening there already, so I thought I'd show that whilst I can. I've just tidied up the borders, I've mowed the lawn, I've painted the fence panel at the bottom of the garden, or 2 fence panels. I've taken a couple more of the fir trees out that were filling the beds. I used them when I first cleared these beds as a bit of a filler. So they've gone. What else have I been doing? Just a general tidy up really of everything. Weeded everywhere. Trimmed a lot of palms and other plants as well, and the bamboo. Apple tree's not quite in blossom yet, but that'll be very soon. Still need to paint the raised beds, which are made of timber decking. That's a job to be done. Tulips are looking beautiful. And also another couple of flowers that I will show you now, because I don't know how long they'll last. These are tulips as well. I planted these last autumn. Lovely variegated flame red and yellow flowers there. Oh, that's the other thing I did, was pressure washed the paving all the way around the house. I didn't go down there though, because no one ever goes down there, so I didn't bother. So I've done all the way to here, and I sort of phased that one in a little bit into the side of the house which hasn't been done. So all this, the whole patio, and all the way down the side of the house and the drive in the front garden as well. Also knocked up this little table. My lad, he found some old wood, and he said he wanted a table, so we built a table. He's quite happy with it, and he's set up a little rock shop. So he's selling these there a penny each, which is very reasonable. So that was a look back at the Easter weekend, but now let's zip back forward again to the present day, and this is the early May bank holiday weekend. Now the garden changes so quickly this time of year, and this is the apple tree. I'll try and go backwards a little bit. Gotten quite big, isn't it? But looks beautiful for about a week, maybe 2 if we're lucky, each year. And I think actually this is the best it's blossomed for a couple of years now. We did have a couple of years of bad crop, so hopefully this is a very good sign. Some of the blossom starting to fall now, but it's been quite still weather, which is why we're enjoying it for an extra few days, I think. But there's lots of other little seasonal bits of interest, whether it be spring bulbs, or, well, that's about it really. Here's the crabapple tree. This is how it looks now. So I probably should have filmed it a couple of days ago. It's probably a little bit past its best. But it does look really nice when it's at its finest. I think that seasonal interest is really important when you've got an exotic style garden, because otherwise it kind of looks the same all year round. So spring flowering bulbs, trees that blossom, but also then the summer flowers as well are really required, I think, to just to keep it interesting and so it doesn't just always look exactly the same. So the first thing to show is, this perhaps isn't the best angle, but I've been painting the raised beds, which is just timber decking. And you can see, well, I painted the first one, the big one. This one I've yet to do, I'm about to do it. Here's what I'm using. It's Screwfix No Nonsense Anti-Slip Decking Stain. I don't need anti-slip obviously, but that's just the one that they have. It's very reasonable. I think it's about £12 or something like that. And this one tin will give this big bed and this little bed one coat, and I'll probably have a little bit left over. Now it's slate, which is one shade darker than what I've had before, but this has become a bit of an annual job. This is perhaps a better angle to show the colour. It's become an annual job to stain it, because particularly the tops, they just wear away, and I'm not quite sure why, but it's supposed to last 2 to 3 years apparently, but I do it every spring. Literally just well, actually I started here, so this one's been, I don't know, painted an hour. This one's just been painted 5 minutes. But yeah, I'm quite happy with that colour actually. And no matter what colour you paint, any sort of wood really, it just looks really smart straight away. So yeah, pretty happy with that. I'm going to paint a little one now. That'll be another job done. Before the rain yesterday, I managed to finish the decking, so I painted the small raised bed as well as the steps, and these other couple of little bits here. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. So I've gone a shade darker, and looks really smart, I think. It sort of makes it look new again, doesn't it? Probably had this about 5 years or so now, I'd guess. But yeah, pretty happy. So that's slate, that colour. This is my biggest Canary Island date palm, and I know you'll be thinking, well, actually it's not very big, and it's not. That's in an old 50-litre dustbin, and it's sort of between our house and next door. It's quite a sheltered position, and there's a bit of damage there, probably from wind, I'd guess, a cold wind coming through. But the new spear actually looks very small. It's like a miniature one, or maybe that's just where the damage is. Not quite sure, but it doesn't look the picture of health. So not quite sure why that is. Hopefully we'll have a recovery this year. So that's my biggest Canary Island date palm, which isn't very big, but there is one about 1.5 miles away from my house, which is much bigger than that. And I first showed it last year, almost exactly a year ago. So I went back and filmed how it looks today. people will think that that's not very big, you know, nothing special about that at all. And you're right, you know, in the grand scheme of things, there's nothing special about that palm at all. Why I've shown it is because it's in Blackburn in Lancashire, North West England, and we can't really grow Canary around date palms long term here in the UK. Sure, you can have one for a few years, you can grow it in a pot, you can protect it in winter, but to see a planted out specimen that's been there in the ground for, I don't know, 10 years or so is something quite special. So certainly I'm not aware of any others in this area that have survived that long. So obviously it's close to the house, possibly too close, but then that's probably why it's survived this long. So yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on it. I'll keep posting updates. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more updates about that palm. So with it being May now, we can see most of the winter damage, like for example on that Canary line date palm I showed. That wasn't evident last month or a couple of months ago. So how have you got on this winter? I mean, generally it's been, I'd say, fairly mild, but we did have a couple of cold snaps. Being in the northwest, we always get a lot of rain as well, and it's the combination of cold and wet which cause a lot of the damage here. So I'm just going to show a couple of plants, an update on a couple of plants to see how they've got on through this winter. So in this raised bed round by the patio, as regular viewers will know, I plant a new Washingtonia Robusta every single year. I expect I'll do the same this year. Normally I'll have done it by now, but actually this one's still got some green left in it, and oh no. So that was the central spear has rotted, it's spear pulled. That one's still in there, but that's probably a goner. A lot of people say to me, well, you know, they'll pull through, it'll recover. This is in a position, so this is where we have barbecues, entertain, but just spend a lot of time as well, and we don't really want a recovering palm here. So I might dig it up, I might put it up, or I may just replace it and get rid of that one altogether. There was another one here, but that's long since gone. Oh, there's a Canary line date palm here, and that was looking good until a few weeks ago, and you can see it's all browned off, which is a shame because I thought we'd actually managed to get one through the winter. And again, look, spear pull, you can see the white on there is also a little creepy crawly on there. Insects tend to love decomposing palms, so that's definitely a goner. I shall remove that. That's not going to recover. My banana, my Musa Basjoo, or at least I think that's what it is, but or that's what I thought it was. I'm not quite so sure now, because I mean, this just has no tolerance of cold at all. It even, you know, the first frost, you know, completely wipes it out. So I'm not actually sure it is Basjoo. Oh, look at that! That's funny, isn't it? I bought some plug plants last year in these sort of I don't know what they are, but they're, you know, they're decomposed, compostable little sort of plugs. And what's this? A tulip or something has decided to grow through it. Now, how on earth? This is what baffles me, is how on earth has that pierced all its way through? You'd think as it was growing, it would just push this away, but it's actually gone all the way through there. Look, which blows my mind. So let's unwrap this, and yes, there's a flower inside. Hopefully that'll do its thing now. But back to the winter damage. So this is my other Washingtonia Robusta, which I featured in my last video, and it's sheltered by this big trachea, just regular Trachycarpus fortunei. This leaf looks pretty good. I wouldn't say perfect, but for my garden, that's near perfect. This next spear looks very brown, which is a shame. So I'm just going to give that a little tug, and sure enough, it's come out. So I thought, you know, it just shows you shouldn't get too excited about these things, but I thought I'd actually got one, a Washingtonia Robusta, through winter. I hadn't. So sometimes it's not until May that you realise that spear is firm. So what I'm going to do, I am going to pour some hydrogen peroxide down there. In fact, I'll do it now to show you. Okay, change of plan. Can't actually find any hydrogen peroxide, so I'm going to have to go to a chemist and buy some. I don't use a lot, so I'll just get a little bottle from a chemist. I've also heard you can find it in pet shops, and of course you can buy it online as well. But it's probably only worth buying online if you get big quantities. If you suffer lots of damage, then it's a good thing to have on hand. I can't believe I ran out and didn't replace it, because I do use it at the end of every winter into spring. So yeah, all it does really is it sort of kills off the sort of diseased or infected part, the rotting part. It sort of sanitizes, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, but it sort of neutralizes it, and then there's normally a big gaping hole. I've only got a little hole here because it's only a very small plant, but that will fill up with water. The best thing about this is that it's under here, so it won't, you know, it'll take a lot of rain to actually fill up. That may recover. With that leaf looking so good, I think I'm probably just going to leave it like that. I'm not going to dig it up and cut my losses like I probably will do with that one. I'll see if it survives. So let me know how you've got on this winter, if you've had any damages, any surprises, or any, like that Canary Island date palm down the side of the house. That's a bit of a surprise to me because we've had colder winters and it's been fine. So that has caught me a bit by surprise. That's all for this month. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and I will be filming a garden tour in the next couple of weeks. And the idea of that really is that my last one, or the first one, the only one that I've ever done, was filmed last March or April, early April maybe. And obviously, as I've explained earlier in the video, the garden develops through the season. So I thought I'd stagger it, so it'll be a yearly video, but it'll be a year and a month or a year and 2 months, so we can really see how the garden's developing, but also what it looks like at different times of the year. So thanks very much for watching, if indeed you still are, and I'll see you on the next one.